What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video on MVP Sports. My name is Jake Neverman, and I'm here with, I'll call you this time, my beautiful co-host, Dave Oster.
Hold not on me. And for people not watching this in order, it's gonna be a little confusing now.
That's the point, though. We got to keep people on their toes. We're
Yeah.
recording 30 of these in basically a day. You got to keep them on their toes. And the ones that Soap and I were recording, I was asking him how he was doing about 3 times. It's you got to
You just
go.
stop asking. Just
That's
stop
what I
asking.
did. I did eventually. But if you do like all the content you're seeing, all the draft grades and the content throughout the off season, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll have videos all year round about the league off season draft. Dave and I's 2022 draft content might be starting in the next month or so. Who
Yeah, man.
knows? But in this video, we are talking about the Portland Trailblazers, and they had one pick in the draft. They chose Greg Brown, forward, center out of Texas, whatever you want to call him. And Dave, you said they had an undrafted signee you want to talk about as well?
I mean, it's my boy Trent Watford. Like,
Okay.
it's an LSU guy who is
Mhm.
honestly, I'm more excited about him than I am about Greg Brown.
Well, let's start with the Greg Brown.
Okay.
I, there's a one who will not be named who was taken by the Sixers in the second round, who also is in the similar vein to Greg Brown, I believe. Is I genuinely don't know if they know how to play basketball at a high level or if they're going to be able to grow their game at a significant enough level to stay in the NBA. Greg Brown is just a gigantic question mark to me. I don't see any immediate fit unless Nurkic leaves next year, and then you have some center minutes open. Obviously, we saw they didn't extend a qualifying offer to Collins today, so he will be your unrestricted free agent. He dealt with injuries after injury after injury the last
Literally,
couple of years.
yeah. That's the problem. Like, Collins had all the potential, but
Yeah.
literally his entire career is injuries. So I don't blame them for moving on. I'm actually celebrating that.
Yeah, it's time. So it'll be interesting with him, but obviously, I guess some center minutes open up somewhat on this team. They have a lot of
Craig Brown's a
question.
4. Quit calling him a center. I know you want him to be a small ball 5 because that's where you think he'll succeed, but he is a wing right now. And until we hear otherwise, wing.
Okay, so on the wing position, where does he play on this team?
On the bench, man. At the best case scenario is bench. Probably expecting him to spend some time in the G League. I mean, here's the thing. This team is a coin flip right now. If they're sellers when Dame gets back from the Olympics, Greg Brown will get minutes. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that's really CJ McCollum trade could happen too. You'll see this team flip over. If they're moving on, they're going to keep one piece and then let the kids learn from him, and he'll be the locker room guy, and everybody else is gone and up for grabs. I think that's exactly what the expectation should be. This is fitting though, because remember, this is the same team that took Anthony Simons, same team that took Nasir Little, and now they're taking Greg Brown. Like, they literally are just taking guys who could be something because they're athletically gifted, but they've shown nothing,
Yeah.
up to that point, because Simons played against, basically like 14-year-olds in fifth year high school. Great for him. I love the kid. He's got such a quick shot, but it doesn't matter yet. Like, he's a shooting guard on a team with 2 shooting guard. Like, that, no. So you go on Nasir Little. We murdered him for his time in college and how
Yeah, it was
little,
bad.
like, he just showed absolutely fucking negative IQ out there.
Yeah.
So again, like, Greg Brown, we're talking about a man who does not know how to play basketball, but sheer athleticism means that he can yam it from about 8 feet away from the net. I mean, he just has insane vert. He has got great takeoff, good slasher. Ball hits his hands. Don't expect to ever see it again. He does not look to pass. I think his assist to turnover ratio is hilariously bad. Like, he
Yeah.
just does not pass the ball. That's not his game. So if you're looking for an athletic slashing wing, sure, he could do that. You think small ball 5, I understand why.
Yeah.
You already had Derek Jones Jr. on this team and didn't use him. So I don't really understand what this is all about at the end of the day. I don't see a
Yeah.
plan moving forward.
I will say, taking an athletic freak wing at 43 makes more sense than a team that took him at 10. So who showed us nothing in college. So I won't fault them for the pick. It's a second round pick at the end of the day. They took a
Yeah,
swing on a guy with high
the
upside in the
flyer.
second round. And then you want to talk about your
Yeah.
guy. Your
Brendan
guy.
Watford is an LSU stud. One of like 3, 4 players on that team who looked very good. Second year player in college. He is a big wing. He's too big to play the 3 and any favorable matchups because he's a little thick.
Pick.
He is a toolsy wing though. Like, He's got a great touch. He's a good passer, good rebounder, knows how to use his size, get to his spots in the court. I love him as far as a talent, and I think he's grown a lot in his 2 years in college. Even just in the last year of shortened college season, like what we saw out of him, I love him. I think he is someone who will be able to contribute. And I think that he actually is the guy who I would pick for if there's a guy who's going to be in the NBA in a couple of years. Greg Brown and him, I'm taking him.
I'd probably agree with you. As you know, my hate for Greg Brown, not on the person, just as a prospect.
Sure.
Dave, would you grade the Trailblazers with their draft grade for the? I guess you could take in the unsigned because I mean, there's not really much to give here with only having 1 second round pick.
Yeah, I mean, look, the question really is who could they drafted after Greg Brown that you would have liked more?
Yeah,
I don't know if there's really a name who I like absolutely loved going to that team.
Kessler Edwards, literally the pick after. I would have liked better than Greg Brown, a shooting wing who can stretch the floor. Like,
yeah, but again, he doesn't fit the mold of what they've been drafting.
Agreed. It doesn't fit their
And
identity.
at the same time, how old's Kessler Edwards versus Greg Brown?
Yeah, it's fair. I guess. I mean, there's just a couple guys taking shots like a BJ Boston who has somewhat high upside, but a lot of the negatives. As a stretch five could plug in and play center minutes for them. So other options, I get it because this fits their mentality and their mold. I'll go first. I give them. I would say,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I give him a C minus. It's like one below the it's not an F because it's a second round pick. So, but a C minus because it's like you take a swing. If you miss in the second round, it's not a big deal.
I would probably go C at that point. I'm with you. It's hard to read into what they should do because we don't know the future of Dame and CJ and Nurkic on this team. So it's like, okay, well, if all of that's in the air, like you're still drafting young athletic talent, like they're not going to see minutes, or are we going to have this turn into like a Thunder situation where we're going to give these kids fucking minutes and we're going to have some fun out there? So I'm sticking with the steady C. I mean, he could, if he hits, could be really great.
Yeah, I agree. If you like this content, again, hit that like button, subscribe down below. Also, check out Patreon and our channel memberships down below. You can get videos a week early on Patreon. And also, if you want to join our Discord server, you can yell at us, tell us our takes are wrong. Or, like I was saying in the videos with Soapy, you can tell us how great we are sometimes too, because we don't hear that enough in our Discord.
Yeah, really.
So, just tell us how much you appreciate it and how great our content is. But that'll do it for this video, and we will see you guys in the next one.